-40 doesn't care. Not how far you came, not how tough you think you are. When the wood pile's low and the stove's weak, the cold always collects its debt. For folks just joining us out here, this stove was always meant for the cabin. Dad and I hauled it up the river by boat back in September. It was the end of the trip, daylight was going, and we left it where it sat. Now after the cold we had, getting it to the cabin isn't optional anymore. Let's play a little Where's Waldo with the stove. Hey Roger. So the plan is to go and get the wood stove from the river. I'm kind of nervous about going there because, as you know, there's no trail cut back past the cabin to the river.
Right. That trail is like pretty closed in, like it's enough for the Argo and stuff. You're gonna get what fell. You shouldn't have like big moguls and stuff in there. Go down, take a look, get her dug out, because that's going to take a bit of effort no matter what. Is it just sitting in the ground or?
Yeah, it's sitting on the ground. Sitting on the ground.
Okay, because they might be frozen in, right?
Yeah. It's not cast, it's steel. I can, maybe tap it with a hammer too. If I get in and it's an all right trip in, then I might be convinced to pop the stove on and take the exact same track right back out. If it's bad going in, I'll go and shovel it out, make that turnaround.
But if it's going to be tough and it's way down, I would say go back out and grab the sleigh and bring it back again. So you got like a 2-shot plan. If it works good, you can get her on. If not, go back with the sleigh, because you can get the sleigh up and get it on. Right now, you're trying to remember how close are trees to where the stove is, that you got to be at a tree in order to get turned around.
I know where the stove. I know the stove is. The stove's on that walking path between the Argo turnaround and the river. To use the winch to turn the sled around. The other thing is, I'm kind of worried about running back there and then just getting the sled stuck, because there isn't a trail back there.
See what that's like with the snowshoes. So you got an idea, because if something does happen, okay, we got to get out and go for plan C. Trevor, if you get partway down, if you get going a bit and it's just okay, you make a decision. If you got to do a couple of digs, you carry on to fight another day. Like you said, get it going there, guns blazing, and she's going to give her a good workout no matter what.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Roger. Great. Talk to you later.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Thanks, Trav.
Yep, bye. The moment of truth will be when I actually hit past the cabin and start hitting that trail and see if I get in. That, I need that wood stove. It's going to make a big difference. Looks can be deceiving out here. I've run this trail for weeks, packing it down, snow blowing over the cab, widening it a little each pass. Then the snow falls again, drifts into the track, and I cut it all over. Overnight, the cold tightens things up, just enough the crystals lock together. That's why I can walk out on this track like it's a sidewalk. Step a few inches to the right or left though, and you're into powder deep enough that even snowshoes won't save you. You can tell how cold it is by the way the snow squeaks under your boots. When it sounds like that, it's proper cold. I've got to get ready to run to the river. Unload the sled, pack only what matters. Straps, a bit of water, a few tools. Just enough to get me out of a jam, and enough time for me to think about my life choices.
see what that's like with the snowshoes. You know, so you got an idea, because if something does happen, okay, we got to get out and go for plan C.
So you've seen me take the Argo that way many times, but never been through with the snow machine. Tell me what these tracks are here. I mean, it's not horrible. As long as you're not walking on a stick. Past the cabin, there's no easing into it. The only trail that way is Moose Track. That's where you point the machine towards the river and find out what kind of day it's going to be.
I think the fear is just kind of like the unknown. What if, anyway? But if we operate everything in life on what if, we're not going to get a whole lot done. You have to put your head down and go. If you have in the mindset of like you're going to get done, you're going to get there, then it will work anyway. So no, you have to push through.
That wasn't easy. That little bump over there is the wood stove. Oh. So my left leg is straight down. Well, given I need to get out of here, I'm gonna see if I can get this machine turned around. Part of the problem. If I can't get this sled turned around, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I've got wood at the cabin. I can walk back, stay put, and hatch another plan. But this is the challenge. Roger and I talked it through, winching, and that's my best bet. So I gotta think this out. You wanna try and use the winch. I can go off of that tree, this pine right here. And I got some other trees over here that I can pull off of, but that's basically it. Mikey hooked me up with that. Thanks, Mikey. It's coming in handy. Oh. So it's good to reassess. My plan is to swing it around, maybe shovel out some of this. Man alive, when I packed up for the run to the river, I forgot the hammer, which is a fine time to realize you might need to persuade a wood stove that's been frozen into the ground.
If you're not sure, you kind of, try to figure it out and push on.
Cranking this winch feels like winding a jack-in-the-box, only this one doesn't play a tune to warn you. Either the stove breaks free or a strap does and comes back at your face. One way or another, something's about to let go.
Oh, yes. Okay.
What you're watching, folks, is the old alpine step on the ski trick. It rarely works. Try to get it as high as I could. Oh. Well, it's in. I don't have a straight shot out of here. I gotta get through here. He's not gonna make this turn the way that I gotta build a track for it. Oh. It wasn't so bad. That wasn't too bad. Done. Now, I sure do appreciate the comments. Truly, keeps a fellow company out here. But if you haven't been watching along and you're just dropping in to tell us what we didn't do or what we're about to do or what we should have done 3 videos ago, well, you might be a little ahead of yourself. That stove's been sitting down by the river for months. If you sharp-eyed folks notice that, you know who you are. Yes, it was a tent stove. No, we didn't buy it special. We had it, we used it, we learned from it. That's how you do things. Test first, fix later. Turns out insulation's moving up the priority list. That's called learning. And yes, there'll be a proper hearth, just not under a stove that wasn't staying. I had to prop this one up first, figure out the pipe height, make sure everything lined up. So don't get your knickers in a knot. Watch along. Helpful comments are always welcome. But if you're not quite sure what's going on yet, pull up a chair, keep watching, and we'll get there together. And for the folks who said you don't run a chimney out the wall on the slope side of the roof, watch and learn. That's a bit like saying you shouldn't cross the street because you might get hit by a car. Careful folks look both ways. Clever folks figure out how to get across. This cabin's got a loft, right at the back wall. You don't put fire under a loft unless you enjoy excitement. Out front, there's a porch roof, which means a long sideways run just to clear it. That's not better, that's just different problems. You see, when you got a problem you can't quite sort out, you don't just throw your hands up in the air. You go find an engineer. And an engineer doesn't tell you it can't be done. He figures out how to do it safely and properly. So let's watch along, learn a thing or two, and see how clever solutions tend to beat hard opinions. Okay. So I have no idea if I found this stove. No idea how it's going to work. Seems to be working if I go like that. Definitely it like cuts the fire down. I will just have to see. Time will tell. I mean it's not hot. Like it's hot, like, but it's got thermal mass. Or to say that's a lot better than the one from the wall hot tent. don't know. I honestly have no idea. Somebody's been in on my trail. You know, like eventually they're gonna find a route. I just hope they didn't go to the cabin. I guess we'll find out. So it looks like they got to here. They probably saw the sign. They backed up. And it actually looks, I just walked over here, these are my footprints. It looks like there's two machines. I kind of thought people came in and went out, but it actually looks like two machines, because one backed up into here, the other one backed up into there. and they cut this way. At first I thought this was, you know, in and out, back and forth, like in and then back out, but I think they're in there. Yeah, so it's a bit of a mystery who that is, but it's not good. It's not good to have people coming back here. Whoa! Okay. Well, gotta get this beam down. Kind of looking forward to this. It's gonna be interesting to see how this looks. It's getting hot. Oh. It's there, but so I guess you guys get a first look at what that looks like. you get to it, it's this big wall. It's gonna look beautiful. I want to do vertical shiplap. And it's interesting because these windows, which haven't been cut yet, they will interrupt the wood here, so I don't have to have super long ones. Like, I want anything that's visible to be a straight shot, so there's no seams on it. That looks cool. Happy to see that. Like, wow. It's hard to see in the video, but yeah, it's like it's this big open space here. So, like in a normal house, you'd be able to touch the ceiling. Got it. But it's up there, and then there's going to be the boards over top, so it's actually really high. What I got? All this frost in there. Just want to get that out of there before I put the insulation in there. There. So just pop that right there. Some of them had a lot of water. Warming this cabin's a three-pronged affair. First off, a new wood stove. This one sips logs instead of inhaling them, throws honest heat, and doesn't keep me up at night wondering what might catch fire next. Mr. Horst was right when he said I didn't have a wood stove, I had a wood-consuming stove. That thing ate firewood like a beaver in a lumberyard. This one, much better manners. Second comes insulation, but before any of that, there's the big stuff, the daylight cracks. The ones that let the wind whistle through at night like it's calling coyotes, owls, and every curious critter in the bush. Seal those up and suddenly the cabin stops breathing like a screen door. After that, the heat's got a fighting chance. We recently hired a YouTube coach to figure out why the channel is growing so slow. He watched a few videos and he said the problem is simple. We do things too properly. He said if I ran a chimney through a piece of cardboard or framed a doorway with wet noodles and hope, folks would pour into the comments calling me an idiot. And apparently the algorithm loves that sort of righteousness. I was skeptical until he showed me a whole parade of successful off-grid channels built entirely on viral moments of boneheadedness. So, seeing as it's a proven technique, I'm considering sprinkling in a few deliberate ringers. If you got any suggestions for things that drive righteous people absolutely wild, leave them in the comments. We aim to please. Alternatively, and this might be even better, you could call out something I'm doing correctly and just make up what's wrong with it. That still trips the algorithm's righteousness detector, gets the sharp-eyed folks into the comments, and usually scares off the real grumps. And if you do that, I promise to reply with a heartfelt LOL perfect. It's getting dark. The wood stove is amazing. Super crazy upgrade. It's definitely a lot more heat for the amount of wood that you put in. Got too hot in there today. Had to open the window and open the door, and anyways. So slow start. That's all right. I just gotta get my wings with the insulation. I'm noticing some things that I have to correct. Like there's some like corner sections and stuff that need to be corrected. You kind of think about it more when you're insulating, then you notice the mistakes that you made before. Not mistakes, but just it's not complete. That's all. Now I came up with a plan for the window. Oh, there's like snow. So Derek lent me his knife. I'm gonna make this problem go away. There's not much. Oh. Now in the plans, there's a special structure behind here that supports the porch timbers that the roof sits on, which is great. It's perfect. I just don't have an edge in here to put the wall or the vapor barrier on, so I'm gonna have to fix that. It's an ice block. So I went to pick up some stuff and I had to drive back here in the dark, and it's another cold one. I'm gonna stay the night in this construction site, but there's not much I can do. Okay, let's see. Throw it into here. Okay, that worked well. This is that's a nice tool. Don't touch that. You're gonna burn yourself. So I got this side done so I can insulate up here. So the thermometers on the door say 14 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. But it's close to the stove, but the door is cold. So you be the judge. So the problem is that I got 3 bundles of insulation there, which is kind of taking up any space, plus this stuff here is taking up where I can go to sleep. But if I have 2 walls done, I don't know about over. Well, if I keep working and I just work until I, you know, at least I can keep sticking wood in the fire, and then I'll just have like a short sleep. Like I just got to get it done. I got to get this done. I need to use up the insulation so I have a place to sleep. This little square piece, I need something in the corner for the wall to terminate on and the vapor barrier to terminate on. So I ripped that and I'm just going to screw it in. We got the fireplace going. We got the kerosene heater going. And you got the diesel heater going. Now the diesel heater is thawing out the water. Because, yeah, it's just going to be a constant battle as the water thaws out. Means it's pretty much boiling. That's the problem. You're not eating. And you eat, and Mr. Noodles is delicious. So how cold do you think it is outside right now? That steam comes out the door. What's that? Negative 34 Celsius or negative 29 Fahrenheit? Now watch what happens when I open the door. Steam. Compared to the first night, this is a lot better. It's the wood stove. It's, you know, just a wall and a quarter of insulation makes all the difference. Let me tell you about the wood stove. It's got fire brick inside there. The wood that used to sizzle when I put it in there, it doesn't anymore. It just, there's so much heat in there, it just burns it. And I'm getting good heat. I noticed a few folks wondering why I left a gap in the header. Like maybe I was short on lumber or trying to save a board. Truth is the opposite. The wood's there to do the work, the gap's there on purpose so it can be insulated and sealed. I'm not saving wood, I'm saving heat. So what I did is tape up the gap at the bottom, and now I'm filling it with expanding foam. Now if you're here with me, middle of the night, minus 40, and it doesn't matter if that's Celsius or Fahrenheit because at that point the math gives up, I want to tell you about something we're trying. If you're one of the folks who really enjoys off-grid engineering and you'd like to watch an ad-free live stream as it happens, the best place to do that is over on Patreon. You don't have to spend a dime. Just grab the free membership, link is down in the description. That's where I'll give a heads up when the stream's happening and drop a link so you can join in. The plan is a bit of a variety show. Roger, Becca, and myself sitting together and answering questions live. Some clips that never made it into episodes, and if the bush gods cooperate, maybe even a live call-in or two. Now, no worries if live streams aren't your thing. Some folks like their off-grid content properly cooked, not served raw. We'll record the whole thing, edit it down proper, and post it later as a regular episode in the quality that you're used to around here. So whether you want to catch it live or catch it later by the stove, nobody's missing out. So that's what temperature it is inside. That's what we got outside. So I turned in around 4 in the morning. Overnight the wood stove had burned down and I slept in the tent with the diesel heater piping in. I hooked the heater to the lead acid battery and forgot to switch it over to the lithium. Turns out the lead acid battery won't carry you through the night. It clapped out. I woke up to the cabin sitting at about -6. Cold but not beaten. The stove lit right back up, still hot coals in there. One log and we were back in business. Bright morning, still bitter cold outside, but a good start to the day. My goal is to get the vapor barrier up and get set up to edit here, but it's not going to happen. I wanted to clean this place up, organize it. I got some shelves and stuff. It's just, I worked till, I don't know, maybe 4 in the morning last night. Getting everything insulated. But I think that's where I'm going to have to leave it so I can get a video out for Friday. Cabin's a lot warmer. Steady progress, I suppose, every day. We'll let this thing deep freeze. Just ran out of time for this week. This one's a bit different for us, trying to make the work more sustainable while still keeping the cinematic feel you've come to expect around here. We started with a run to get the wood stove, then rolled right into a bit of the build log. Let us know what you thought. What worked, what didn't. The comments are always the best part of the conversation. And if you want to join in on the live streams, there's a free membership over on Patreon. Links are down below. Thanks for spending the time with us, and we'll see you in the comments.